Welcome to day 15 to 28. Small steps, real struggles, true progress. Every day is proof that change is possible when we keep showing up. Day 15 of my 200 Days Mass Challenge. Rich or poor, strong or weak, none of these decide the worth of a soul. Both can love, both can serve, both can choose goodness. I sometimes wonder, am I only able to meditate on these things because I don't worry about money as much? Because if I did, maybe I wouldn't have time to think about this at all. And perhaps that's true. But maybe that's also why those of us with more freedom are called to reflect deeper, to use that space, not for comfort alone, but to grow in compassion. Because when everything else is gone, we are all the same. We breathe the same air, we share the same time, we return to the same ground. No one is greater, no one is lesser. Differences are taught, passed down, which means we can teach ourselves better, to see with humility, to love with whatever we have. Day 16 of my 200 Days Mass Challenge. The journey of loving our enemies doesn't start with them, but within us. With a strong heart and gentle acceptance of ourselves, we begin to see others with new eyes. Behind every action is a story, a wound, a longing, and at the core, every soul desires the same thing: to love and to be loved. Day 17 of my 200 Days Mass Challenge. Whenever I feel hurt or anger, I pause and ask myself, why? Why does this word cut so deeply? Why does this action unsettle me? Often, I discover that the real struggle is not with the person in front of me, but with something inside me, a wound, a weakness. When we begin to change our own weaknesses, anger loses its grip. We become less irritated by the shortcomings of others and more capable of helping them grow. The journey of faith is not about pointing fingers outward, but allowing God to transform us inward. And when He changes the heart, He changes the way we see everyone around us. Day 18 of my 200 Days Mass Challenge. I noticed something. Even at an older age, people often keep talking about the same things they've been used to, whether it's family, health, faith, or sometimes even other churchmates. And then it struck me. Aging doesn't magically change us, it only magnifies what is already in our hearts. So the question is not, what will I talk about when I'm older? But what am I filling my heart with now? Lord, help me to plant love, kindness, and faith now, so that when my own words flow in old age, they will be words that give life. Day 19 of my 200 Days Mass Challenge. In the end, we own nothing except what we give away. A smile, a listening ear, a word of encouragement, a hug, time spent, patience, forgiveness, a helping hand, knowledge, a story, laughter, faith, love given freely without expecting anything back. These are the treasures that never fade, because in the end, what we give away is what truly stays forever. Discipline is born when excuses are loudest. Day 20 of my 200 Days Mass Challenge. Something's shifting. Waking up early is almost automatic now. My mornings flow with rhythm. Sit in silence with Sadhguru, open my Bible app, then the Hallow app. But today I was tired. I came home late, slept late, and honestly, I wanted to skip Mass. Yet somehow I still went, even if I was 2 minutes late. Maybe it's the challenge pushing me, maybe it's discipline growing roots, or maybe it's grace, quietly carrying me when I feel weak. Day 21 of my 200 Days Mass Challenge. In today's world, many elders live unseen, their wisdom overlooked, their hearts quietly longing for connection. The Gospel shows us Jesus stopping for the widow, feeling her sorrow, giving back life where there was loss. To be like Him now doesn't always mean grand miracles. Sometimes it's as simple as presence, as love expressed through touch. So here's today's challenge. Embrace an elder. Hold them close. Let them feel they are not forgotten, but deeply loved. Because sometimes the greatest resurrection is the lifting of a lonely heart. Day 22 of my 200 Days Mass Challenge. I was 5 minutes late today, though maybe they just started earlier. But what struck me wasn't the time. It was a truth I couldn't ignore. One elder's family member passed away. Another sister told me, after 70, every year is a bonus. Being around elders makes this more real. One day, they too will leave, and I know I will feel the sadness of their absence. But this is life's circle. From the moment we are born, the countdown quietly begins. Yet most of us don't want to talk about it because death feels heavy, painful. But maybe it's not just about the sadness. Maybe it's also a reminder if time is short, then every moment is sacred. If years are a bonus, then each day is a gift. And maybe the real challenge is not in escaping death, but in learning how to fully live before it comes. Day 23 of my 200 Days Mass Challenge. Ever wonder what people are carrying inside? Recently, I've been trying to look at others with kindness because I don't know their hidden battles. And when hurtful words come my way, I remind myself their words reflect their heart, not my worth. This simple shift in perception softens anger, grows patience, and opens space for love. Day 24 of my 200 Days Mass Challenge. Division has always been a part of human life. Some have more, some have less. Even if we try to divide wealth equally, it wouldn't stay equal because we all live differently. Some save, some spend, some share. Maybe the point was never about money. Maybe what matters most is this: how we choose to treat each other along the way. Because in the end, life feels richer not when we own more, but when we live with kindness, respect, and love. Day 25 of my 200 Days Mass Challenge. The parable of the sower reminds me God's word is like seed, always alive, always being scattered. But the harvest depends on the soil of my heart. When I choose to be good soil, His words bear fruit: love that forgives, joy that shines, peace that steadies me, patience that softens me, kindness that blesses others, and faithfulness that keeps me rooted in Him. Even if yesterday I was rocky ground, today I can still choose to be good soil. Day 26 of my 200 Days Mass Challenge. Corruption has been with us since the beginning. The faces may change, but the heart of it is the same. And it often doesn't start big. It begins small, in childhood, in ways that seem harmless. Like being praised for little lies, being bribed with treats just to obey, laughing when we cheat in school, or excusing mistakes instead of owning them. All of these teach us one dangerous mindset: that rules don't matter as long as we benefit. That's how corruption grows. But integrity grows the same way. Integrity means doing the right thing even when no one is watching. It begins in the smallest choices, at home, in school, in daily life. If corruption can be planted in us early, so can honesty, responsibility, and accountability. The seeds we choose today will shape the future we leave tomorrow. Day 27 of my 200 Days Mass Challenge. I've asked myself if I should join rallies or debates, but I realize change begins with the man in the mirror. It's not that I am right, this is simply how I can contribute to change. Arguments often drain more than they build, and issues eventually pass. What endures is the way we live the gospel daily, by choosing kindness, nurturing good relationships, and letting our actions reflect Christ's light. Even if the world doesn't notice your goodness, someone will be inspired. If not now, then in the future. For nothing hidden will remain concealed, and even if no one else sees, Christ always does. Day 28 of my 200 Days Mass Challenge. Words can inspire, but they can also push people away. What truly draws hearts closer is the quiet witness of a life transformed by Christ. In the end, people will not remember the many words we've said, but the beauty of our example. It is often said, people don't care how much you know until they know how much you care. The origin of this phrase may be debated, but its truth echoes something Maya Angelou expressed so beautifully. People will forget what you said, people will forget what you did, but people will never forget how you made them feel. Knowledge without love falls flat, but love expressed in action becomes unforgettable. May our lives become living homilies where the gospel is not just spoken, but seen, felt, and remembered through the way we love. That's it for now. Thank you for watching. If this journey speaks to you, try the challenge too and see where it takes you. And if you'd like to keep walking with me, don't forget to subscribe.